Alright guys, so I'm going to teach you how to make this really nice pasta dish, macaroni and cheese dish, done in the oven. I have the directions here, the ingredients: pasta, preferably elbow, sharp cheddar cheese, half a stick of butter, flour, milk, salt, I'm using sea salt, pepper, and the recipe calls for 8 ounces of macaroni. Cook it al dente. The pasta is completely done in 7 minutes, so I'm going to do it for about 5. And al dente means basically it's a little bit chewy. Now I gotta strain the pasta. Make sure you get that out quick, because if you let it sit, the pasta will cook too much and your al dente will be ruined. We'll preheat the oven to 350 degrees here. On bake, I have my half cup Parmesan. My next step is to melt my half stick of butter in a saucepan. Cut it into pieces. Make sure you stir your butter around so it doesn't burn. You want to keep it on low heat. Remove it from the heat, and then we got to blend in the flour and the milk and then the seasonings. We're dumping in a 1/4 cup flour. Now we put our 2 cups of milk in. Don't spill. Put in 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. Bring it to a boil. Let's just give it a little stir to start with. Make sure everything in there is liquid and not salted like that was. And then you want to put in your pepper into the white sauce. Just the dash is all you need. And make sure you're stirred up real good. I got this thing heating up. I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute. And I'll start that as soon as this is at a boil. Get the water agitated a little bit to help the boiling process. So while that's going, we're going to butter our casserole dish. You want to get something that's oven safe. Baking dish, casserole dish. And then just butter the bottom. This way it greases the pan. Make sure to grease the sides a little bit too. As you can see, my white sauce is boiling now. So I'm going to have to start my timer and just stir it for a minute. That's a little bit too much of a rigorous boil. Turn it down some. Make sure you continue stirring, and what you're looking for is the sauce to get thicker. Yeah, that's about the spot. So now stop the boil, and you want to be sure to take it off the pad because this is still hot even though there's no fire going. And then just let that sit out. I'm going to cover it so it doesn't lose its heat quickly. Take the pasta. There's a layer of pasta. It's pretty thin. Now our next step is to put the cheese on it. Use half a pound of sharp cheese. Make sure it's sharp or else the pasta dish won't taste very good. So this entire block is 2 pounds. I'm going to take half of it. And you want to slice it relatively thin. Layer it all around, make sure you cover every square inch. So now we have our first layer of cheese, and we're going to take our pasta and sprinkle it on top of that. Spread this around so it's another layer on top. So there's another layer of pasta, and we're going to layer even more cheese on top of this. See, that's about a little bit too thick. You want your cheese to be So there's that layer of cheese. So now we take our white sauce over here, stir it up, drench the pasta. Make sure to get every last bit. It's good stuff. We're going to sprinkle it with our half a cup of Parmesan cheese. You can also take breadcrumbs and then sprinkle those on top of your cheese. Our oven is no longer preheating. So we're going to keep that in there for 20 minutes or so. It says until the cheese is melted. So I'll get back to you guys when the 20 minutes is up. Well, we want it to be golden, and that looks pretty golden. And there's the finished dish. And if you cooked it correctly, this is what should be left.